Hi, welcome to the presentation of Relational Structure of Emotional Experience, a novel paradigm for characterizing differences between alexithymia and general online participants. Emotional experience in our context is the conscious self-awareness aspect of our feeling. It is the part that we can actively recognize and interpret. Studying experience not only helps us to understand the neural mechanism behind, but also shed light on how emotion influence our behavior. Traditionally, psychologists have relied on verbal reports, asking participants to describe how they feel. While language is a primary medium for studying emotional experience, it has limitations. Verbal expression may not always capture the true emotional experience, and the language itself can shape subjective experience. Moreover, people vary in their ability to articulate feeling, making it challenging to compare experience between people based solely on words. Our novel relational approach takes a different path. Rather than asking participants to verbally report their feeling, we examine the relationship between multiple emotional experiences. We define each single emotional experience by how it relates to the other. To measure this relationship, we employ similarity rating. By characterizing emotional experience based on the relationship, we can create a visual representation of relational structure of emotional experience, where distance stands for relateful similarity between experience. This relational structure also facilitates structural comparison. Moreover, non-verbalized approach is particularly valuable for those who struggle to express their feeling, a phenomenon known as alexithymia. Alexithymia, which affects around 10% of the population, is characterized by difficulty in describing and identifying emotional experience. But what exactly is the nature of alexithymia? To answer this question, researchers have proposed a two-factor model to investigate this question. Affective aspects suggest that the alexithymia may have very limited or even absent of the feeling. However, cognitive suggests that alexithymia may have typical emotional experience, but they are struggle to process emotional information and express it verbally. To assess the question, the Berman-Wurz alexithymia questionnaire was developed to measure both cognitive and affective dimension of alexithymia. Our first aim of this study is to characterize emotional experience. Using our novel relational approach, we achieve this by gathering relationship between emotional experience of large scale of stimuli. We then map this relationship into a geometric space, forming the relational structure of emotional experience. Moving on to our second aim, we then compare the relational structure of emotional experience between individuals with low and high level of alexithymia. This examination encompasses both cognitive and affective dimension of alexithymia. Let's take a look at our research methodology. We conduct our study with 322 online participants through a two-part task. In the first part, participants engage in a sequential emotion video similarity task. They watch a series of videos and then rate the similarity of the feeling they experience between this video. In the second part, participants complete a 40-item questionnaire to assess their alexithymia, including both cognitive and affective subscale. Now let's experience this task together. Your task is to determine the similarity of your feelings between the current video and the previous one. Please use the provided similarity panel to rate your feeling. To begin, you will watch a video and remember your emotional experience while you're watching it. Next, you will move on to watch another video. After watching the second video, you will use similarity rating panel to rate your emotional experience between the previous two videos. This pattern continues as you watch another video and record your feeling. Once again, you will also rate the emotional similarity between the video you just watched and the one preceding it. In summary, each participant views a total of 75 videos and provides sequential similarity judgments for each pairs of video. Importantly, all participants watched the same set of video, but the playing order was randomized. This randomization allows us to efficiently collect and aggregate data across all 75 videos, ultimately forming a comprehensive metric of similarity rating. Let's move to results section. So we have collected data from each participant and aggregated into a mean similarity metric. This metric has 75 rows and columns. Then we use multi-dimensional scaling to visualize the similarity relationship between these 75 videos. Multi-dimensional scaling is a technique where using distance to represent the similarity relationship between objects. For example, it translates distance between cities to a triangle-like structure. If we put this structure on a map, you would see that this relational structure holds. So MDS is a way to visualize complex relationships in a more understandable way. After applying MDS to our similarity metric, we obtain the relational structure of all 75 videos. Each image on this visualization represents one of the videos. The distance denotes their similarity in feeling. Among the 3 videos you have just watched, 2 were clustered close together, while another one was far away. It means that participants report that the video of vomiting evoked a distinct emotional experience compared to the other 2. For the M2, we will test if people with alexithymia have different emotional experience. There are 2 possible causes of alexithymia, so we predict that different emotional experience leading to a distinct relational structure of emotional experience. Typical emotional experience, but difficult in naming emotion, resulting in a similar relational structure of emotional experience. Here raised another question: how do we go about comparing this relational structure? The answer is we introduce internal matching rate as a measure. Taking advantage of resampling technique, this metric evaluates the structural consistency of emotional experience within each subgroup. Lower values suggest increasing variability or randomness of subgroup. We group participants into alexithymia and normal group based on median split of score on the affective subscale of BVIQ. Then we calculate the internal matching rate for each subgroup. The results show that the internal matching rate of alexithymia is significantly lower than that of the normal group. This result supports our first hypothesis that individuals with alexithymia may have altered emotional experience compared to typical individuals. Then, based on median split of the cognitive subscale of BVIQ, we also see similar result. However, such a result does not support our second hypothesis. This relational structure of experience is also have a significant difference, which is contradict to our hypothesis. Let's go to summary. To recap, our study has several significant findings. First, our result confirm our initial hypothesis, suggesting that individuals with alexithymia indeed have distinct emotional experience. This difference may be the root cause of their difficulty in verbalizing their emotional experience. However, our study does not support the second hypothesis. Even individuals with cognitive alexithymia also have different relational structure of emotional experience. This finding suggests the possibility of an interaction between semantic information and emotional experience. This result contributes to a deeper understanding of alexithymia's nature. Rather than simply characterize it as having no word for feeling, we should consider it as absence or alternation of emotional experience. In examining the implication of our relational approach to emotional experience, we have identified 2 key advantages. First, this approach enables us to distinguish between subjective experience and verbal expression. This is crucial for future research, allowing us to investigate the difference between how emotions are expressed and how they are consciously experienced. Second, our approach offers a non-verbal way of studying conscious experience. This is not only reduce the influence of language and culture, but also open opportunity for using this approach as a diagnostic tool for individuals who struggle with verbally express their internal experience, such as alexithymia. Thank you, that's all.